One of the things that we said people are most worried about when they become a catechist and working with these kids is discipline. And so we thought, let's spend a few minutes on that. And to get into that topic, we thought we would ask you to go back into your past and figure out what kind of student you were. So, Nick, let's turn it back to you. I'm sure you were the downright devilish Dominic when you were a student, but whatever the case, why don't you help people to fill out this particular survey?
All right, Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, there is a poll question open on your screen. It's what kind of student were you? Please select A if you were a downright devilish Donna or Don, B if you were a mischievous Mike or Michelle, C if sneaky Sam or Sarah best describes you, D if you were cooperative Carrie or Cameron, E if you were an angelic Adam or Alice. Finally, select F if you were a teacher's pet Tom or Terry. And Joe, I'd just like to say I like to think I fit more in that D category there, the cooperative Carrie or Cameron, than the downright devilish.
I'm sure you still are to this day, Nick. And I'm just thrilled we have a couple of people who did say they were downright devilish. You know, for once we got a few honest catechists out there who are admitting their dark days. We're just about ready to see the results, but as we're doing that, I can tell you honestly that I would be a B. I was kind of a mischievous student. That's because I had lots of older brothers and sisters who were such angels, and I just wanted to break the mold and be something different. And I tried real hard to be bad, and I failed miserably at it. But, you know, I tried. So we got our results in there, Nick. Let's see what kind of people we have here.
All right, Joe. We have 6 times as many cooperative Carries or Camerons as any other answer tonight. But as you did point out, we did cover every answer from the downright devilish to the teacher's pets this evening.
Okay, that's fun. I'm sitting across from a cooperative Carrie right here. Carrie's part of our team, and I'm sure she was angelic when she was a student as well. And I'm not surprised. Most catechists are people who were pretty good students when they were in school. But let's remember what it was like to be a kid, you know, and some of us, you know, had our mischievous moments. And so how were we dealt with? Maybe that's the way we're going to help deal with kids who are mischievous. So let's look at a few things that we can do to bring about discipline in our classrooms. The first thing that we're going to need to do is to understand the role of discipline. It's a means to an end, and it's not an end in and of itself. So you can enforce the strictest discipline in the world, but then you might just lose all the rapport that you need to build with your students. So you need to have a good balance. Secondly, be sure that you identify the improper behavior. And you want to be specific. You don't want to just, you know, look out at the room and say, all right, now all of you, shut up and sit still. You know, kind of zero in on that specific individual or group of individuals and what behavior it is that they're engaging in, and then address it. You know, tell them what they're doing and why good behavior is so important in religious education, namely because we're trying to get to know Jesus. I like to tell them that. I call that evangelizing discipline. Don't just tell them to be quiet because you want it to be quiet, but because they're going to get to know Jesus, and that can't happen if they're goofing around. Don't panic or lose your cool. You know, try to stay calm, be firm, be authoritative, but show that you can retain discipline while remaining your cool, keeping your cool. And I think one of the best ways to do that is number 4, by avoiding interrupting your own lesson. You know, if you see trouble brewing somewhere in your class, you keep your lesson going, but you walk around and head over to the area where you have to put out that fire. Stand behind them or next to them and make some eye contact with them. Maybe tap their shoulder gently or tap the desk as you pass by. But keep talking. Keep your lesson going. And also keep those participants involved as much as you can. You know what they say, that an idle mind is the devil's playground. So, you know, those young people are there to perform and complete tasks. So keep them on task. Keep that pressure on them to keep moving. I love the picture of this kid. You know, get used to it. He's going to be in your class, no matter who you are. We all have one. So a few more things we can do to deal with kids like this. You want to make sure that your eyeballs are kind of scanning the room, always looking around so that you can be aware of what's happening, and using students' names. We talked about that, and moving around that classroom. Make yourself a moving target. Check your seating arrangement. Sometimes trouble happens because kids are just sitting too close to each other, and troublemakers need to be separated. Be sure that you're not just pointing out bad behavior, but reinforce the good behavior as well. Tell them when they're behaving well and why you think that's so wonderful and how you'd like to see that kept up. Don't make tons of rules, but just make a few rules. Invite them to help you with that and explain them, and then just be consistent. And when they help you to make those rules, then you can also, sort of call them back to that and say, you know what, those are our rules. You made those rules. Let's follow them. And then finally, just get to know your age group. There are some behaviors that they might seem unacceptable until you stop and think, well, you know what, that's what a fifth grader would do. And you just sort of can be a little bit more tolerant of those things.